people, Deluded, I'm back again. On Sunday, Arsenal obviously travelled to Norwich. It's Arsenal versus Norwich. We might as well quickly preview the game. Now, we know all talking points in relation to Arsenal are irrelevant at this moment because they're dominated by Unai Emery departing the club and also Freddie Ljungberg being introduced in an interim basis. Whether he'll get the job permanently is down to him. It's a good carrot for him. It's an audition. He's spoken about management. He's spoken about he won't. You always hear talk coming out of the club, especially from Ornstein, who's not exactly employed by the club, that prior to this, Ljungberg is waiting for that managerial role and he won't sit around. He'll grab opportunities where they come. So he's got an opportunity. Whether Ljungberg gets it full time or Allegri, Pochettino, Nuno, Rodgers. I mean, everybody's getting this job. I even see Pep Guardiola on top of Arteta get linked now, people. Do you see what I'm saying? At this moment, someone might as well put £1 on Wenger to come back. That must be a decent little odd man and whatnot, people. Or Jack Wilshere or Cesc Fabregas as manager or something mad like that. But for the fans, we know this season has been terrible. In our last 7 games under Emery, we failed to win in any of them 7. 5 of those games in all comps, we've held leads and either dropped 2 points or dropped all points. So that shows our game management isn't there. Our morale is hit. We're just simply in bad form and we're playing terrible. It's that simple. Against Norwich, there's an opportunity to to start our season again of sorts in that Ljungberg. Again, whether he's a success or not, is a different story, and let's not expect fireworks from him because we will lose a game again this season. But you're hoping with Emery gone, the players get a kick up the backside. Players that didn't necessarily feel free under him, now they might have a spring in their step under Ljungberg. Players that might have been frozen out might feel they get a chance. Players that feel they're always going to play under Emery might feel their spot is under threat. So we're hoping for a reaction. On top of that, obviously with Ljungberg's history in relation to Arsenal and as an Arsenal player and now on the coaching staff, he's someone the fans are able to identify with. The players are as well, and everyone connects with the club. We all hear talk of the modern day. I always make videos about it. I believe Ljungberg, Arteta, these are the modern day sort of coaches. Coaches are going to be developed in-house. But I do think nobody's expecting fireworks from Ljungberg. I mean, nobody's expecting him right now to be giving it permanently, and nobody's expecting him to turn this mess around. I think I speak for most logical fans where mathematically top 4 is still there, but it's not going to happen. You're just hoping at most from this season we can claw back some points and have a shout of top 4. Europa League has to be taken seriously. Or for me, blood the likes of Tyrese, John Jules, potentially Ben Cotterill and Trey Coyle, who's playing quite well and deserves his debut based on how he's playing. Give these lot chances. The young players that are immediately in the first team with Martinelli, Saka, Nelson, Emil, might as well just give them the opportunity to play Premier League football and the rest of it. And next season they would have substantial experience under their belt. Against Norwich, people, again, Arsenal's away form, in fact, even our home form has been appalling. Every game, it sounds cliche, but every game is a tough game for us due to this form. Norwich, they obviously beat Manchester City. They lost to Liverpool away from home earlier in the season, but they gave them a good game. So they've shown against, I'm so sure they gave Chelsea a game, and Chelsea won 4-2, I believe. So they've shown against top 6 oppositions that they're a tough side. They won't just sit here and play the inferior side because they just got promoted. I feel similar to us. There's goals in this game because I don't feel they've kept many clean sheets this season. But it's something to be wary of. I don't think we've actually travelled that well to Carrow Road. We'll look at the stats in a sec, but we haven't travelled well there. With our away form, with the way the club's been, Norwich and their players must be fancying this. They must be thinking, yo, this ain't a game against City or whatever where we might be on the back foot. Let's go out there. We like to play football. Arsenal can't tackle and all of these things. So let's go out there and play football and get our fans behind us. The players have to be prepared for that. And I'm hoping that at least with Ljungberg, I would describe him as an attacking coach based on what I saw in the 23s last year. I would think that the players, Aubameyang, Pepe, all of these players would relish that and feel somewhat that they've been liberated. That's what I'm hoping for, people. Again, I expect us to lose every game now because my morale is on the floor with this team. As much as I support them, I just don't see how we buy a win at this moment in time. But I'm hopeful, people. I'm hopeful, man. I'm hoping. Looking at the statistics, though, pardon me, people, Norwich have won just 1 of their last 15 against Arsenal in all competitions, losing 8, drawing 6 and winning 1, since obviously beating us 4-2 on the first ever day of Premier League action at Highbury in 1992, which was a 4-2 victory for those that were about at the time. Arsenal have lost just one of their last 14 top flight away games against Norwich, winning 5, drawing 8, going down 1-0 in 2012. Since beating City 3-2 in September, Norwich have lost their their last 3 Premier League home games by an aggregate scoreline of 2-10. So they do concede goals. People like us, both teams have got leaky defence. Obviously, they've got good young players like Ben Godfrey, Jamal Lewis. These players will could potentially develop into England capped players or go on to do better things. Definitely Max Aarons, and for me, potentially Ben Godfrey as well. I really think these lot, and Jamal Lewis, to be fair, or whatever his name is, all of them can go on to do good things, especially Max Aarons. But obviously, Arsenal are winless in our last 5, losing 2, drawing 3. We last went 6 wins without a win in April to August, people. 2011. Arsenal have lost their last 2 away games against promoted sides, against Sheffield United and Wolves. We last lost 3 such games, people, in 1983, 1984. Only the bottom 3 sides, Norwich have 3, Watford have 4, have scored fewer away goals than Arsenal in the Premier League this season, which is 5. The Gunners are without a goal in their last 212 minutes of football away from home, mustering just 5 shots on target in that run. Now, hopefully, with Ljungberg, we shoot more. We do. There's a bit more of a purpose to our play, sort of thing, or at least what I'm hoping for, people. 1 second, I need to write something down for my other video. So unprofessional, but I've lost my notes. Purpose, educated risk. Sorry, people. But as you can see, the Norwich game, we're hoping it gets off to a win for Ljungberg, if nothing more, man. Give the fans something to get behind. Obviously, a lot of the fact that we're not shooting and our defeative attitude is with Emery. Hopefully, again, I hope the players feel liberated of sorts. Obviously, moving forward, a bit of memorabilia, really. Ozil scored his first ever Premier League goals against Norwich, people. He obviously netted twice at the Emirates in 2013, October that year. Emilio Buendia has created more chances, 28, and provided more assists, which is 4, in the Premier League than any other Norwich player this season. So we know they've got players. They've got Cantwell, I think's decent. They've got the young English defenders. Pukki might just morph into his early season form. They've obviously got Emilio Buendia. Forgive me if I pronounce his name wrong for sure, but forgive me if I'm wrong. He's like 20-odd Argentinian lad. He's seen as someone, I believe he can move up a level if Norwich go down. What he needs to do is stop losing the ball in dumb areas, but I think he's a decent player. We know Norwich play good football, and with the way Arsenal are, if I was them, I'd come out on the front foot, play our football, make Arsenal scared, ask question marks of their fragile defence, low on confidence as well. Many fans want to see a reaction, but many fans will not be shocked if we lose at Norwich. So Norwich should use all of this to play into their hands, people. In regards to the lineup, I've seen, who knows, nobody knows what Ljungberg's going to do, because I've seen Ljungberg play a 3-4-1-2, 3-4-2-1, if that even makes sense mathematically. I've seen him play 4-4-2, I've seen him play 4-3-3, I've seen him play 4-2-3-1, all at under 23s level. From what I've seen of him at under 23s level, he likes to play out from the back, but there's a purpose to his playing out from the back. And I like how he's smart. He believes in educated risk, like play out from the back, but common sense. If 2 strikers are closing you down, switch it up and go long. Do you get it? He promotes that sort of thinking in his players, self-learning, what I like about him. Obviously, you see him get a yellow card in whatever game it was on the assistant's touchline. At 23's level, that was a regular occurrence, people. I wouldn't say he puts great emphasis on the fullbacks, people, but I think he entrusts his fullbacks to go forward. I think he likes to experiment with his central midfield options, and I don't think he's scared to play attacking players. He'll play 2 wingers and a striker. He'll play 2 strikers. He's very good at them things. Of course, what he's done at 23's level, I don't know what he's going to do at first team level, people, but that's just my educated guess. I would like us to go, I'd actually like 4-3-3 of sorts, people. This is poor. I'd like us to go with a 4-3-3 of sorts, people. For me personally, it all depends on several players' fitness levels, because Kolasinac has a little knock. We saw him train. Mustafi's not in the team, but just to highlight him, he's had little knocks. Bellerin's apparently got a hamstring injury. We know what's his name? Ceballos is not going to be here for a while now, until mid-December. So there's a lot of things to worry about, people. Now, if Luiz is fit, another person who's injured, I'd like to experiment again with David Luiz, you know, because I think as you can see, just so you can paint the picture, I've gone with a 4-3-3. Yeah. Again, it's not the best, but I've gone with a 4-3-3. But in real times, I want it something like this. I want Tierney to go, Bellerin or Maitland-Niles, whoever to go. I'd go with Torreira and Luiz. Obviously, we play a high line, so the centre halves will be there. I want Luiz there. I want Torreira to be a defensive mid, but he's more a ball-winning midfielder sort of thing, people. And then that would free up, in theory, they'd be a pivot. But I'm just showing you the positions I'd like them to take up. I'd like Luiz to kind of unofficially become a member of the back three like he did do. Torreira mopping up. And that will free up Mesut Ozil. Mesut, go up there and connect with the front three. Pepe, Aubameyang and Lacazette. Tierney and Maitland-Niles or whoever's going to play right back do the same if it isn't going to be Bellerin, people. That's what I would like to see. I'd like to go with a 4-3-3 because I just it's about just free up the players, man. Just let them go out there and attack, man. If we win, lose or draw, I want to see our players play with some clarity, people, and I can't always say that's the case for us. Based on the game against Everton, people, you obviously saw them go with a 4-2-3-1. Norwich I'm speaking about now, people. They're two workhorses there, and they got a 2-0 victory over Everton. You can't take them for mincemeat, people. And I think they played Sam Byram, former Leeds lad who used to be highly rated. Let's swap keepers, man, because this is going to be mad confusing. We've got to be wary, man. Pukki's movement, people, is vital. Apologies if you can't see. Pukki, for whatever you say about his form, there's no way you score the amount of goals he scores in the Championship and his early season form if you're not a very intelligent striker. The shoulders, fullbacks do not get caught because he will capitalise on that, and he's got players behind him that will find them. Cantwell will dribble and look to make things happen. The midfield fight, you'd imagine that people would slot into midfield and they'd probably drop a bit deeper if it went how we'd like it to go as Arsenal fans. But for me, I just want our fullbacks to go forward. I want them to know the luxury of Luiz is there, Torreira is there. This frees up Ozil. Go and connect with these players. Aubameyang and Lacazette, more so like that. Pepe, I want you to come off the flanks when you can. More or less be like that. Lacazette, of course, you can drop. Aubameyang, take advantage of the space. But I want to see better rotation with our front options. You look at Liverpool, sometimes one's on the left, one's on the right, through the middle. We need to look to get that sort of stuff. Of course, it's different because we've got two strikers and a winger, but you get the point, people. There's not much more to say other than I hope we win. If we don't win, we'd be disappointed, but not surprised. On that note, people, deluded, I'm out. Hopefully we beat Norwich. I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory for Arsenal. Hopefully. Don't make me look stupid. But on that note, God bless. Enjoy the rest of your day or whatever you're doing, evening, whatever. DG.